If you're someone that's new to fighting games or has never really played fighting games before, then watching gameplay from experienced fighting game players can oftentimes seem very enigmatic because there's such a gap between how you play the game and what you understand about it and what you're seeing in high-level gameplay. And oftentimes it can lead players into this headspace of like, I have no idea what they're doing, I have no idea how to play like that, and it creates this like feeling of, I'm never gonna be able to get there because you see what's at the top of the mountain and you're like, I can't do that. But of course, every fighting game player, no matter how good they are, they were new at some point, they sucked at some point. But the thing is, you never get to see that. People never show off what it's like to learn and get better and improve. And oftentimes when newer players are asking fighting game veterans, how do I get better? A lot of times they'll just say, go play and you'll get better over time. And that is absolutely true, but that doesn't exactly give a new player a very good grasp of what that actually means. So for this video, I want to try to show off what it's like to get better at a fighting game, to learn a character from the beginning and show you my progression and show you how I improve. The goal here is to demystify getting good and show the process, to show how I get to the point where I can have gameplay like here, where I'm doing pretty okay. Because I absolutely did not start like this. But before we get into it, there's a couple things I want you to know right off the bat. First of all, I have been playing fighting games for like a decade at this point, so I do generally know my way around these kinds of games. So if you're like totally new, I am at a much higher starting position than the average player is going to be. And it's gonna seem like right off the bat I have a very solid grasp of how to play, but keep in mind that's only because I've been playing fighting games for so long and there's a lot of transfer skills game to game. Another thing to keep in mind is that I'm not like super duper amazing at fighting games. I've been playing for a long time, but I'm not that great. I would personally consider myself like intermediate level, which again, to new players is gonna seem insanely good, but it's really not if you look at actually good players, you know? It's a matter of perspective. So, enough of that, let's get into it. And of course, when you're learning a brand new fighting game or a brand new character, you gotta start in training mode a little bit. Though I would not recommend spending a ton of time in training mode if you're completely new to fighting games. I would say just hop in here, learn your moves, and then go start playing some matches. But as someone that's already above that point, I'm going to spend a little bit more time here. All this footage you're going to be seeing is me spending about an hour in training mode. I'm not really much of a training mode fiend. I generally tend to not spend too much time in it. I prefer to learn out in the field and use training mode as minimally as I can. And normally coming into a new fighting game, I would also do the tutorial to learn all the mechanics and stuff, but I already learned all that stuff through World Tour mode, so I'm good to go in terms of just how the game works. And I've already played Guile before in previous Street Fighter games a little bit here and there, so I have a rough idea of what to expect with how he plays. And the first thing I'm actually doing here is I am practicing my charge times, because the charge time in this game is a little bit longer than most games, so I want to get used to that, dial in that timing, and make sure it's committed to muscle memory so I can do it without really having to think about it. And in general, most of what I'm doing here is just familiarizing myself with my moveset with Guile. You know, my special moves and how do they work. You know, the Sonic Blade, what does that do? How does it modify my Sonic Booms? What are the different strengths of it? What are their different effects? This is the kind of nitty-gritty stuff that I would not recommend new players really pay that much attention to, but I want to know these things, so I'm spending some time to figure it out. You know, also going to your command normals and seeing what all they do and all that kind of stuff. When I'm initially picking up a character, the thing I want to do is just familiarize myself with my tool set and make sure I have an understanding of what is available to me and what can I use. I don't really spend that much time in thinking about applying these things. I generally like to do that in matches. So when I first start, I just go, okay, what do I have and what do they do? You know, I'm not worried about trying to figure out setups or frame traps or this or that, all that advanced stuff. Like, I will worry about those things as I start to figure out the character, figure out how to play, and I need to start implementing those things to increase the quality of my gameplay. But for now, I just need a baseline. And a big important part of that is learning your normals. I think a lot of new fighting game players probably just tend to focus on the special moves because they're like, you know, the big cool moves, but your normals are very, very important, and it's very good to get a grasp of what your normals are and how they work, and also learning which normals have combo potential, which can be chained, which can be linked, which can be canceled into special moves. Like, these are important base concepts to realize just so you have a foundation to work with in terms of how you're going to form your offense in matches. It's also good to have some kind of understanding of the frame data of your moves, but it's not super duper important. If you can just feel it out during play, that can also work. But since SF6 has the amazing feature of the frame data right there on the bar at the bottom of the screen, I use that to figure out what I can do, and what's positive on block, what's minus on block, and, generally what is safe to do and what's not safe to do. And I know if you're not a fighting game player, this is all going to sound like moon speak, but generally what I'm trying to figure out are what are my good moves, what are my safe moves that are not that risky to do, and how do I take all of these moves and turn them into some real damage when I finally land them on the opponent. And that involves a lot of experimentation and trying to figure out combos and stuff. And when it comes to learning combos, I do not spend a ton of time working on it when I just pick up a new character. People are like, oh, I gotta learn all these big, fancy, elaborate combos. You don't. All you need is very simple, basic stuff to get you started. And if you're totally new, you don't even really have to worry about that. But I'm gonna try to figure out a little bit of stuff of like, okay, if I start with this move, what can I do from here? If I land some light punches in a fight, then I can combo that into either a sonic boom or a somersault. I figure that out. Or I have my crouching medium punch and a crouching medium punch, and then I can combo that into a somersault. And that kind of became my bread and butter go-to combo. There's also, with Guile, I have my forward heavy punch, which I can do into a crouching light punch and cancel that into a somersault. And that is a pretty good combo right there. And, also trying to figure out what can I do on jump-ins, what can I do on cross-ups, and so on and so forth. And I also try to figure out some basic simple combos for when I have super available and I can do some extra damage, but that's it, just some very basic stuff. You'll see I'm not trying to do any fancy drive rush combos or anything like that, because quite frankly, while I was doing this training here, I forgot that was a mechanic, so I did not implement it into any of my combo plans when I was doing this initial planning, and that's totally fine. That's some more advanced stuff to optimize and get more damage. I don't need that right now. This is all just establishing my deck of cards that I'm going to be playing with, but what really matters is learning how to play with those cards. The cards themselves, I can worry about making my deck as optimal as possible later. Because you can spend all the time in the world in training mode trying to figure out all these optimal combos and damages and punishes and all this kind of stuff, and what can you do in the corner on counter hit, and you can spend a ton of time on that stuff, and then you can go into your first match and get completely obliterated because you don't know what to actually do when there's an opponent trying to hit you. And with that, after about an hour of training mode, I'm feeling relatively comfortable with Guile and ready to go, so let's go into some online matches and see how I do. And I'm not playing with you here, this is legitimately the first match of Street Fighter 6 I played right after finishing that training session that we just went through, and this is what it looks like. Start off with a very bad opening here as this guy immediately jumps over my sonic boom and now he's pressuring me in the corner. I'm trying to block, do a reversal, and now I am going to get punished for that hard because he was waiting for it. He screwed up there, but as you can see, I did not do the full combo that I practiced earlier because I screwed it up. I didn't charge it for long enough. I'm still getting used to that charge timing. And my pressure on him in the corner totally failed, and now I am in a very bad situation. Got a drive impact though, so now's my chance to turn the tides. Did the combo correctly. Trying to get in on the corner, but it's not going well. Good anti-air there, saw that coming, I was ready for it. Now I'm just trying to pressure him, and there you go. Round lost, just like that. And now I'm thinking about the start of the next round. Last time he jumped in on me, so is there something I can do about that? This time he didn't jump in. You see, I crouched immediately because I was charging to do a somersault to anti-air him, but didn't end up happening. Land another drive impact, get the combo, and now I activate the level 2 super so I can do a whole bunch of sonic booms and use that to pressure him and go in, but it doesn't end up working too well, as you're about to see. Managed to get a reversal there, but it's always risky to do wake-up reversals, because if your opponent is expecting it, you are going to hang yourself, and you definitely don't want that. And now I'm being pressured in the corner here, and I'm having a hard time trying to figure out how to get out of it, so I do a drive reversal to just get him off my back. And now, see, he saw that reversal coming this time, and now I eat it hard. I can still come back, I can still win this. No, not at all. So there you go, there's my first batch of Street Fighter 6, and it was kind of atrocious, honestly. I was doing fucking terrible, playing very poorly, playing very stupidly, because I was just trying to figure out what to do and how to play Guile in a match against a person. It was sloppy, it was messy, and I was generally just flailing around trying to figure out what works in what situation and what I should be doing. And I could show you the following match in the set, but let me tell you, it's more of the same. And I'm not going to show you full sets or full matches all over the place because it's going to take a long time to go through all that. So I'm just going to kind of highlight certain matches or certain rounds that show really big significant moments of me learning and me improving. But for now, we are going to go on to my second match against this Chun-Li player, and we'll see how this goes. This time around, I have a little bit more of a game plan of what to do here, trying to play a little smarter, play a little more Guile-like, relying on my sonic booms and my somersaults, and trying to just play relatively safely and smartly, throwing out relatively safe normals and not doing anything too crazy unless the opportunity calls for it. Here I'm on knockdown, and instead of doing a somersault, I decided to do a drive impact, as it's a little safer, but still ended up not working out. And yeah, I am still making bad decisions, though, going in when I shouldn't. And here's an opportunity where I block a super, and I don't punish it with that much. I could have done a lot more there, but I just wasn't really thinking about that. And now we're at this position where we're both at relatively low health, so you get to that, oh, we gotta be really careful. What are we gonna do? Don't get fucked up. Oh god, I'm very, very low. Gotta be very careful here, and there you go. I got totally destroyed again. Okay, next round, let's see what we can learn from that, see if we can do better. I've noticed that she's throwing out a lot of those, like, flip kick things, and you can see that this Chun-Li player is using modern controls, so she doesn't have to do any motions or anything, so she can just throw those things out on a dime. So that is something to keep in mind, and as you see, I was expecting it that time and managed to somersault it. I'm watching her. See, she just did another one. I'm paying attention to how this player plays, looking for the patterns of what they do and trying to exploit that. That's what you really want to be doing. Hey, there we go. Now we got a round win under our belt. Playing it safe there, just a very simple light combo into somersault, and it managed to work, so... Oof! Ah, not good. And that was a half-decent punish. Managed to do a reversal, so now we gotta see if we can do anything with these. I like to use these things for stuff like this, of projectiles covering my approach, and then she's expecting me to go in for some more hits, so I do a throw instead to mix them up. I like stuff like that in fighting games. I'm getting away with a lot of these reversals against this opponent. They're not really expecting it, so I could just kind of do it for free, which is very good for me. And I'm doing pretty good on those anti-airs. Generally, jump-ins are something I have a problem with, so when I manage to do an anti-air, I feel really good. And this, oh my goodness. My fucking level 1, and then she does her level 3 and beats me through it. Ugh, so brutal. But okay, you know. Still did a lot better that match, so let's see how it goes into a future match. This is just one round from the third match that I played, and I want to show this off for a very important reason, as you'll see as we go on. The beginning of this round does not go super well for me. This Ryu kind of has my number a little bit, and as you can see, I do a drive it, nope, get thrown immediately, and oof, that's not good at all. Didn't do much damage on it, but still not good. He predicts my jump in right there and punishes it, and I don't have much health, and he has a lot, but I get this knockdown here, and then I block, expecting him to go for the reversal. He did. I fucked up my punish there. Again, didn't charge long enough, screwed up the combo, but I get this throw here. Now we're both pretty even. Now check this. Oh, so bad. I thought for sure he'd be expecting me to start throwing a bunch of sonic booms at him, so I'm like, this is my chance. I'm going to run in and do a throw, and that'll totally get him. But no, and I really should have seen that coming, because throughout the match I was playing against that Ryu, he was doing a lot of reversals anytime I would go on the offensive, so I probably should have seen that coming, but I didn't. Oh well. But now, how about I actually show me doing pretty well and winning? So here I am against this jury player. And as you can see, my play style here is a little bit better. I'm playing a little bit smarter. I mean, she's doing my number on me right now, but I've managed to get things going more in my favor in a sec. Knock her out of the air. She did a reversal, but okay. Still not too bad. Managed to sweep her. Now I'm just trying to pressure her from a safe distance, keep her going. Playing a little bit of footsies. Now I get a punish on that, but I screw it up and don't really do much with it. But I managed to fuck her up there because she didn't punish my sweep. And oh god, okay, starting to look bad, but it's okay. We'll be fine. Boom, and here we go. Big punish, turn the round around. Oh, it didn't kill. I could have killed there if I did a super, but I was panicking too much, focusing on the match, and I didn't end up actually killing her there. And I lied. It ended up costing me the round there. This is an important thing I wanted to show, that I could have won that there. I practiced how to combo into level 1 super. That could have been it, but I was just not thinking about it, not focusing on that kind of thing. I just defaulted to the basic combo that I established, which was that down medium into somersault, and that's all I could think to do at that time. And it ended up costing me the round, and that sticks with you. That goes, okay, I need to think a little bit more about smarter offense. You know, I already figured out combos, I practiced them, but now I have to actually implement them into real gameplay. And just for the record, I am skipping ahead here quite a bit. I've played a number of matches at this point, and I have managed to win some, but I wanted to show off a lot of losses, because that is generally what happens when you're new and you're learning and you're trying to figure things out. You're gonna lose, you're gonna do poorly, you're gonna play really badly and go, God, I suck, and that is totally fine. That's what the learning process is. There's nothing wrong with that. I am not concerned with winning or losing. You know, that first match I played against that Ken, I would consider that atrocious play, but I'm fine with that, because that was the beginning of me learning to play Guile, and I was just figuring things out. But as I play more and more, I start to figure more things out and start to do better. Winning and losing is not what matters. What matters is getting into situations where I didn't know what to do before, and now I do know what to do, and I come out of that interaction successful. That is the mark that I am improving. Even though I still lose this match against this jury, if you compare how I'm playing to how I played against that Ken in my first match, it is a world of difference. And now that difference is starting to pay off when I get to this mirror match against this other Guile. I'm the one in orange, and here I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more like I know what I'm doing with Guile, because I'm giving this other Guile a run for his money, doing some pretty decent offense, getting a knockdown here. And I'm just kind of playing, I'm in control of the match right now. And then right here, block that, get a good punish, don't mess up the combo, very nice. And yeah, things are going pretty well. I got this guy frazzled with my offense, so he doesn't see the throw coming, and boom, taken care of. And now check this out at the start of the next round. What do guys like to do at the start? Sonic boom, so boom, right through it like that. That's a pretty nice round start, if I say so myself. Please don't do that against me if I'm playing Guile. But the point I'm making here is that by this point, I feel like I have solidified a fairly solid play style with Guile and a good game plan that is working decently well for me. I managed to get a couple of wins at this point, and things are going pretty well. So now at this point, once I feel like I have a grasp of the character, what I'm really focusing on is learning how to play smart and play against my opponent very well, watching what they do and trying to adapt to their play style. And you can see that in this JP match that I'm doing right here. This is after I've been playing against this guy for a while, and so I've started to pick up a few of his patterns in how he plays. For example, this right here. I noticed he does a lot of wake-up drive impact as a reversal, and I kept that in mind while we were fighting, and I utilized that later in this round. Because I'm doing pretty good, I'm getting my offense going, doing some damage, messed up a combo there, but it's okay, still going in. And then check this. Oh yeah, fucker, you like your wake-up drive impacts? I saw that one coming. Boom. Now that is very nice. Quite a big difference from how I was playing initially, isn't it? Here's another thing I like to do. I like to play in very unorthodox and unpredictable ways that kind of aren't very good, but that makes it hard to see coming. So for example, I've been playing matches against this JP for a bit, and you know, oftentimes I start around with the classic Guile Sonic Boom to begin with. But I've been doing that to condition him to expect that, so that way at the start of this round, I can just dash right up to him and throw, and who the fuck is gonna do that as Guile at the start of a round and get away with it? Me, because I've conditioned my opponent to expect something else. That's the kind of things that I like to get away with. It's really stupid and you probably shouldn't do, but it's how I play. And generally at this point, I'm feeling pretty good about my game plan with Guile. Things are going pretty well, and I'm taking out people pretty consistently. I think I went on like a 5-win streak at this point. So yeah, things are definitely a lot better than they were before. You can see that I got this guy a little bit scared. He's just backing away, waiting for me to do something. I'm trying to drive impact him into the wall to get the stun, but managed to finish him off anyway. So yeah, things going pretty darn well. But then if we go into the second round, you can see that while I am still winning and doing pretty okay, I am still messing some stuff up. You know, obviously, there's just the fighting stuff. Sometimes you're going to get hit, that's fine, but I get this drive impact, get my combo real nice, and then, and I screw up the second combo because I still don't really have that down. I land all those lights, and then I don't manage to combo off of that either, so, you know, still messing stuff up, even at this point when I'm starting to do better. And I still got more to go, but, you know, won that round, and I'm feeling good now, but you cannot rest on your laurels. Just because you're winning does not mean that you're doing everything right, and if you start to feel overconfident, that is gonna mess you up. It's a bit of a balance you need to strike with judging your own performance with how you play. You know, you want to give yourself those wins and say, hey, I did pretty well there, but at the same time, you also want to look at what are you still doing poorly and what can you still be improving. Like for me, one thing I'm thinking is that, one, I'm not doing great combos. I could definitely be optimizing my damage more and getting better situations. Also, I've been finding that I've been struggling to open up my opponents. I feel like my offense is a little bit lacking, and so I've been trying to work on that. And you can see in this round against this jury here, I have her locked in this corner, and here is an instance where I feel like my offense is pretty solid, mixing her up quite a bit with lows and overheads and throwing her when she's not expecting it, and I have her totally locked down in this corner. She doesn't know what to do. She's just trying to defend herself, and I'm actually managing to completely shut her down. But this is a rare instance of my offense going this well. Generally, I've been having a lot of struggles with opening my opponent up, and I think part of that is because of Guile's moveset and how I generally play, because Guile is generally a defensive style character. You want them coming to you and you want to make it a hard time for them, but I usually play more in-your-face characters that are throwing a lot of mix-ups and stuff your way that you gotta deal with, and Guile is not that type of character. So there's a bit of conflict between how my general playstyle works and how the character playstyle works, where I have to force myself not to do things that I generally gravitate toward doing naturally. And everything I've showed up to this point has been from my first session playing as Guile, but now it's time for my second session, and it's good to play multiple sessions because it gives you time away from the matches to review your play and think about what you were doing well, what you were doing poorly, how things were going, and look for opportunities to improve what you've been going about. And so now I'm coming back to training mode to try to figure some things out a little bit. And one thing I like to do in training mode is remind myself of things that I forgot, because remember this combo, the forward heavy punch and the down light and the somersault? I didn't do that like ever in any of those matches that I just showed off because I completely forgot about it. But then when I was looking at it here, I'm like, oh my god, this move is like really plus on block. I should be using this all the time, and I was barely using it in my previous game plan. That was definitely a weakness there that I could have been taking advantage of, so now I'm really keeping it in my mind, I gotta use this a lot more. Additionally, I'm spending a lot more time practicing my combos into supers, because I completely forgot about those. Like, if you look at how I was playing, I wasn't really using meter very much. You know, sometimes to activate my level 2, but that's about it, because I couldn't really find opportunities to combo into my level 1 or 3 because I was busy focusing on a million other things. So now that I have my solid foundation of a game plan with Guile, now it's time to improve it and refine it by taking all these things I wasn't doing and start trying to add them to my playstyle. But another thing that's important to keep in mind when you're practicing combos and trying to learn better stuff is to be realistic with what you can do. Because yeah, I have this combo of medium punch into back heavy into sonic boom into level 3, but then I start practicing this combo to try to get the muscle memory down, and as you can see, I'm messing it up a lot, and I'm struggling to do it consistently. And sure, I could just keep practicing this until I can do it consistently, but it's also okay to just say, you know what, this combo is too hard for me to do right now, I'm not going to be able to do this consistently. Let me just try to find an easier, simpler variant of this combo, or a different combo I can do instead that's more reliable, and I can come back to that harder combo when I'm ready for it. Also, other things I was trying to do here is improve my general offense. So, like I said before, I felt I was having a hard time opening my opponent up, so I was thinking about what I can do to improve that, and I thought about Guile's crouching light kick, which I didn't use, like, at all in any of my previous matches, and then here I'm like, oh, hey, I can do crouching light kick and a crouching light punch into somersault or sonic boom, and that can be a little combo there. I didn't really have a solid combo off of low because I was pretty much just doing my low-medium kick, which you can't really do very much out of. So now here's a chance for me to increase my damage when landing lows, which is good. Another thing I was thinking is that I do way too many sweeps. You can see a lot in my footage where I sweep way more often than I should, and it often gets blocked and ends up getting me punished, and I just use that on, like, instinct way too often because, you know, it's a low, it's got such good range, it's so good, but it's also so bad if it gets blocked. But then I was thinking about, oh wait, Guile has that one thing where you can cancel his crouching heavy kick into his diagonal heavy kick to do that big up kick. And that move is actually cancelable. So I was thinking about this corner pressure I could do where I do the low and then I do the big high kick and then I can do that into a drive impact and bash him into the corner. That could be some pretty good corner pressure. People would not be expecting something like that after a sweep because they're thinking they're going to get a free punish after that. So that might be a really nice thing to add to my corner pressure. So I'm going to keep that in mind. And also, now that I've played Guile for a bit and I'm feeling generally more comfortable with him, now I'm going to start thinking about drive rushes a little bit and try to get those going into my combos. And after a bit of experimentation, I came up with this combo here, which does some pretty good damage. So if I have opportunities for big punishes and I can do some big damage, then I should definitely be thinking about trying to implement this into my play. And I'm sure there's more stuff I could be doing with Drive Rush, but since I'm just now starting to implement this, I'm just going to focus on the one Drive Rush, and I'm not going to go crazy trying to figure out a million different Drive Rush combos. You know, I could look stuff up if I wanted to, but generally the way I play is if I can't figure it out on my own, then I generally don't like to do it. Like, if I can't figure a character out by myself, then I just won't play that character. I don't generally look up combos or strats or things like that. I just like to figure everything out on my own. I like that process of learning and experimenting and trying to improve my general approach to a character by myself. So that's how I play. But if you want, you can definitely look up some stuff, and that can definitely be a very helpful tool, so be sure to keep that in mind as well. But anyway, now after some extra training mode stuff, which again, I spent about an hour in training mode learning some new stuff, practicing, and now let's go into my next match against this jury player here. And very quickly, you can see some changes. Look at that, bringing in that forward heavy punch, which I was barely using before. And now using that with the plus frames on block to get some counter hits, and yep, getting some combos with it. This is very good immediately right off the bat. And I'm getting her in the corner, and look at that right there. I immediately tried to do my corner pressure. Unfortunately, I did not react to the fact that I actually landed the hit, so I ended up doing the drive impact anyway, and it ended up screwing the whole thing up. But you can see that I'm trying to implement the things that I practiced and the things that I came up with, and it is starting to impact my gameplay in a positive way. But it also impacts your gameplay in a negative way, because now you're thinking about extra things and you're distracted from the fight, and it can cause problems to try to learn new stuff. But stick with it, and eventually those new things will become just as natural as the things you already have in your arsenal. And this is a pretty good demonstration of what I was saying before about my struggle to open my opponent up. That when my opponent is going defensive, I'm not really doing very much to, like, you know, break their guard and get past them, because I'm bad and I'm not really thinking about throwing in some overheads, and I'm not doing lows either. I'm just doing some crouching medium punches, and that's just not doing very much. You know, it's good for pokes and stuff, but when the opponent is on the defensive and I have the advantage, I should really be trying to mix them up and do some more stuff, but I'm just, you know, there's too much going on in my head right now. See, this is some smarter Guile play by me. Staying far back, throwing some sonic booms, trying to, you know, mix up the pacing and tone that I throw him out with, but she managed to get in, and she is causing me some problems. Ouch. And, oof, I'm in the corner. I want to get out of there, and she saw that jump coming, so being very predictable, being very bad, but okay, I got her in the corner now. What can I do with this? And she immediately jumps out. But here I start to play a little bit smarter, you know, keeping my distance, generally doing safe things, smart things, and then bam, land that, get the combo, very nice. And yeah, punishing some stuff. She's still landing some hits, though. Ooh, I tried to do a reversal there, but I didn't charge for long enough, so I ended up eating some stuff there. And, oh, this is dangerous. Ooh, block that. Okay, punish. Now, here's the thing. I did not do my full practice combo punish into level 3, but I did punish with a super instead of just doing the down medium punch into somersault. I managed to keep in mind, hey, do a super here to really land that punish, and even if I didn't do the optimal thing, I definitely did something better than I would have done otherwise. You know, acknowledge what you do well and acknowledge what you do poorly. That is what is most important. Now, I want to highlight these two rounds against this Ryu player here because I feel they do a really good job of showing how far I've come from where I was before. You know, earlier against that Ken, fucking terrible. But now, look at this. I'm, you know, doing a little rough right now. He's got me in the corner. He is, oh god, he baited out that reversal, and here comes a really big punish from him. He could have killed me there if he did a super, but I guess he messed it up. But here I managed to turn things around pretty decently. Look at that, those lights into that sonic boom, proper combo. Mix him up with a throw right there. I was waiting for a reversal, he didn't do it, so I'm keeping my offense going. Block some stuff. Look at that nice punish right there. I actually think that was pretty good. I couldn't really do much more from that range, so that was like a really good choice, and that guy was waiting for me to do something, come in with the throw. Yeah, I had him frazzled, he didn't know what to expect, and I managed to get away with that. That was a really nice round. And then the second round, too, I'm doing pretty decently. Get a little bit of a late anti-air there, but, you know, not the worst thing in the world. That's something I actually really struggle with, is anti-airs. People could jump at me all fucking day and get away with it, which is a problem for a Guile player, and I gotta work on that. But you see we're doing a little bit of footsies here, going back and forth, and being careful. You see me throwing out those forward heavy punches a lot more now, because I realized, man, that move is fucking good, and I should fucking use it. And I got him in the corner, just being careful, waiting for him to do something stupid. You know, just keep pestering him from a distance. Saw that coming. Oh, you're done now, son. See, I could have done a super there and finished him off. But, you know, still panicking, still not really focusing on those kinds of things, still messing up some stuff. But hey, I managed to win the round, and I think that shows that I've come a very far way, just generally how I played that much, much better than how I was doing before. But yeah, still things I could be doing better. And now, this round against this Ryu player, I'm really thinking about that. I'm like, okay, I gotta really work on my punishes, work on my damage. I gotta focus on those combos I was practicing, keep them in mind. You know, I haven't done a single drive rush combo, man. I gotta get that in there. So, let's see if I can manage to implement that in this round. Generally, still playing pretty decently, I think. Playing some footsies, being safe, not doing anything too stupid. Oh, this could be bad. He's got me in the corner. Oh, no. Oh, no. Woof. Not looking good. Okay. All right, get off me. Aha! Now you're in the corner. Stun. Here we go. Big combo. And I fuck it up. I tried for it. I tried to do a drive rush into the big combo, but, yeah, I messed it up. All those reps that I did, all that practice, didn't really mean very much, and now that ended up killing me. I was not ready. I was not prepared to start implementing that into a real fight, and when I tried to do it, I messed it up. And you know, that's fine. That's what happens when you try to do something new for the first time in a real fight. You're gonna mess it up, but you keep doing it anyway until you don't mess it up anymore, and you finally do land that combo for real, and then you're like, fuck yeah, dude. But then from there, you keep doing it until it's not even fuck yeah anymore. It just becomes standard. It becomes default. You don't even have to think about it. You're gonna do those better combos in those situations. But it takes time to get there. It takes practice, and it takes screwing things up and losing because of it, and that's fine. And now, checking out this round against this jury here, once again, I managed to do a dash-up throw because I've conditioned her to expect sonic booms. And by the way, what's up with online? So far, I've been running into almost entirely Jury, Ryu, Mano, and JP, are like the most common characters I've seen. I've barely fought other characters very much. I haven't found a single Blanca. I guess those are the good characters, maybe? I don't know. That's what I've been running into. But there's a specific thing I wanted to show off at the end of this round here. Big drive impact, and then check this. Look at that. Combo into level 3. It wasn't a full combo, I didn't do the whole drive rush cancel and everything, but I was like, okay, I'm ready for it this time. I will do a combo into my level 3. It wasn't the ideal one, it wasn't the maximum damage one, it's not exactly what I practiced, but I am doing a little bit better with that, and that is good. I'm on the path to eventually starting to implement that into my play fully, which is what you want to do. You want to be making progress. It's okay if you're not there yet, but as long as you are making progress, then you're good. And now, to finish things off, I want to show this full set between me and this Manoa player, because I think it does a really good job of showing how far I've come, but also how generally my playstyle doesn't really jive with Guile, and when I fight against Guile's playstyle with my own playstyle, it starts to create problems for me. But then when I start to get into the proper Guile groove and I'm playing him like you should, then I start to do better. Because as you can see right now, I'm getting real in there. I'm getting real close, trying to do a lot of heavy offense onto this Mano here, because she's playing fairly defensively, so I'm feeling like I have to get in there and force her to do things. So I've doing all this offensive pressure, and she is taking advantage of the holes in my pressure because I'm bad, and it's causing me problems. And because of that, I lost that round, so now I gotta go in again, and you can see I'm just rushing in there, and she is just punishing me for it, causing me a lot of problems. And then, oh my god, she reacted to my drive impact. This is gonna hurt. Oh, she just did a normal throw. I was expecting a level 3 there. Okay, whatever. Oh, see, I'm staying so close, and it's just causing me all kinds of problems, and I just got perfected. See, that was me playing Guile in my typical kind of rush-down style, and I'm still doing it into this round here, and it's still causing me problems, because she is a much more capable character in those close-range engagements, and I am not playing to Guile's strengths here. And sure, I'm managing to get a little bit of offense going here, but it's not really that strong. And the moment I make a mistake and she gets the advantage, it's going to cause me a lot of problems because I'm up in her grill where she wants me, not where I want her. And there you go again. React to the drive impact. Here comes a super. And I'm trying to... Oh, nope. Nope. All right. Now let's start to play a little bit more... okay. Ow. All right. Okay. Getting in there, being aggressive, not working. Let's play this a little smarter. Let's play this like Guile. This is a thing that I constantly run into playing Guile, is trying to resist my own natural play style and play the way that I should, that's more effective. And that's kind of a bit of a problem. But now I'm starting to be a little smarter and a little more Guile-like. Boom, look at that. Drive impact, get that into the same decent little combo into level 3. You know, you can see that kind of learning stuff paying off here. And I'm going in there, but, you know, I'm trying to be more careful with it. She got me in the corner now, but can I do anything about it? I'm trying not to do too many reversals because I don't want to get fucked over by big risks that end up not paying off because she's playing fairly defensively. She thankfully did not manage to punish that one there, Jesus Christ. And as you can see, she's just jumping over me, and I'm not doing anything about it. Like I said, I struggle to deal with people just jumping all the time. It's something I really need to improve on. I could have killed her right there with the previous forward heavy, but I screwed it up. Thankfully, I managed to land the second one. How's this one gonna go? She didn't punish me on my sweep there, amazingly. Being careful, being slow. Alright, I predicted her offense there because she kind of has like a rhythm and a pace to it, so I threw out a drive impact. It ended up working. She didn't react to it that time, thankfully. And yeah, I'm just keeping her at arm's reach, trying to hit her with my longer reaching moves, trying to stay safe, trying to stay smart, make her come to me, and then make her pay for that. And when I push her away, now it's time to do a little bit more of projectile stuff, and yeah. Keep on getting to land those drive impacts, which is nice, but it's risky because she has demonstrated that she can definitely react to those. And now I start throwing out some of these. Remember these? Haven't used these in a while, and hey, it totally paid off here. She was screwing up her parries, so okay, got that one. I feel like that was mostly her messing up, though, not necessarily me doing well. But now I'm like, okay, playing defensively, keeping her away, that is generally doing better, so let's stick to that and let's really do it. So now I'm really throwing out the projectiles, pushing her back, backing up, throwing out more projectiles, and now that she's trying to get into me, now I'm doing some counter hits, doing some footsies, trying to cause some problems for her. Like, yeah, come to me. I'm backing up, she's whiffing, and then I'm just trying to make her feel like she has to come in. And then, boom, I managed to land that. Not the ideal thing, but I managed to do some kind of follow-up there, taking advantage of my frame advantage, and then keeping that space, throwing out more projectiles, and she has to come in, you know, she's got to aggress on me. I've got the health lead here, she has to do something. And even if she gets in, and oh god, that could be bad, but it's okay. Still have a big life lead. I just need one decent thing, and right there. Haven't really done many overheads in this fight so far, so I knew she wouldn't be expecting it. Low into overhead. Worked out very well. And now what do we got for this round? Oh no. Ouchies, but we can still deal with that. That's fine. Being careful, keeping her at bay. Yeah. That's the thing about the forward heavy, is that if an opponent is crouching, it'll go right over them. And if they notice that, they can totally punish you hard for it, which is not good. And hey, look at that! Better little combo right there. Not only did I do the level 3, but I also did the Sonic Boom before it. And now I got this big life lead. She's flustered, got her in the corner, do a little bit of pressure, and then while she's worried about throws overhead, she does a drive impact, and boom, look at that. Finished her off just like that. Quite a big turnaround from the first match against this player, isn't it? I totally kind of dominated her toward the end there, and I'm very happy about that. And I hope that this video has done a good job of illustrating the progress that I made over the course of these many matches, seeing how I get a little bit better here, I learn this there, I screw up there and realize what I'm doing wrong, and I make adjustments, and over time, my strategy gets more sound, my damage gets better, my general playstyle improves and starts to align more with Guile and what makes him effective, and I start playing a little bit better and things start working out better, but I'm still trying to improve, still trying to get better, still trying to make things work out even more so, and that is what the process is like. You just never stop trying to do better, trying to do well. Once things start going well, you go, okay, but what am I still messing up? What are still the problems and how can I fix those? That's what it takes to get better at a fighting game. That's what it takes to learn a character and to improve. And the biggest lesson that I came out of this whole time playing Guile was that I don't really like playing Guile. He just does not gel with my playstyle, so I'm actually done with Guile at this point. I'm not going to continue to try to practice him because I feel myself being held back by the fact that the way I play just does not gel with the way Guile plays, so I'm going to start picking up a new character and try to learn someone else that's generally more to my style. And if y'all like this video and you'd like to see me learn a different character, let me know in the comments. I think I'd be definitely interested in doing more of these learning a character type videos where I kind of walk you through my process of figuring them out. And who knows, if this ends up doing well, maybe I could do this kind of thing for multiple different fighting games. That'd be pretty cool. I guess we'll see what happens. Let me know what you thought. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.